coverage you can count on. This is WAAY 31 News Mornings.
Well, good Saturday morning to you, Tennessee Valley. A cool start to the day, but I'm tracking sunshine and some breezy conditions this afternoon. I'll tell you about it coming up.
Plus, we now know how many people have been arrested in those protests in Decatur. And 2 Americans getting ready to come back to the U.S. after getting freed from being held hostage by Palestinian militants. Good morning, everybody. I'm WAAY 31's Chris Tatum. So glad to have you with us for WAAY 31 News Mornings on this Saturday, October 21st. And of course, Storm Tracker Amber Kulik here too to talk about this warm day we had yesterday, continuing into the weekend.
Oh yeah, it's going to be even warmer today. So if you don't like the warm weather, well, this will be a great weekend to stay inside. Let's go ahead and dive into that forecast this morning. Here's a look at Guntersville to start you off. It is dark and it is quiet this morning. Now the winds will start to pick up as we head towards those afternoon hours today. So if you're headed out to the pumpkin patch, maybe to pick apples, something to keep in mind there. Will be a little breezy. Temperature right now in Guntersville is at 45. Winds are calm, but like I said, that's going to change as we head through the rest of the day today. Here's a look at your current temperatures across the Tennessee Valley. We're in those 40s for most areas. 45 in Huntsville, 44 in Athens, it's 43 in Decatur and Coleman, and 43 in Scottsboro right now. Temperatures will warm quickly, though, as we head into the afternoon hours today. 31 triple Doppler, quiet and dry to start you out on this Saturday morning. No need for the umbrella because we're staying dry for the rest of the day. So if you're taking advantage of this Saturday to go hunting, well, we're looking good this morning. It will be a cool start to the day. As we head into the afternoon and evening hours, though, we will start to see those winds pick up and more cloud cover will move into the Tennessee Valley as well. So keep that in mind if you're taking advantage of the afternoon and evening hunt tonight. Otherwise, though, not a bad looking weekend. It will be on the warm side, and I'll tell you what to expect for your Sunday coming up in just a few minutes.
And of course, don't forget, one of the best ways by far to keep up with the weather, rain or shine, is to download that WAAY 31 Storm Tracker weather app. It is good for Apple and Android users, and it's free. Protesters in Decatur say they are undeterred in their push for state investigators to release police body cam video of that recent officer-involved shooting. That is despite several protesters getting arrested, even sentenced to jail time. WAAY 31's Jillian Kay picks up our story from there.
We will persist in our calls for the arrest, termination, and prosecution of the involved officers and the tow truck driver for their crimes on September 29th.
The protests have been mostly peaceful, but protesters tell me that police have made 8 arrests. Police confirmed 1 protester pled guilty to disorderly conduct. That person is now serving a 15-day jail sentence. Despite this, protesters say they are not giving up.
This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And so this may take a year or 2, but we will support the Perkins family until they get justice.
We're also seeing the impact of protests one day after demonstrators shut down traffic on the Hudson Memorial Bridge.
Everybody should be upset. Not just black people, not just Hispanic people, everybody should be upset.
And we do want to just say we heard one of the protesters there in that story say that they wanted those police officers fired and prosecuted for their crimes. None of those officers have been charged with any crime at this point. Now, as for that protester serving jail time, fellow protesters actually marched to the Morgan County Jail last night demanding their release. And this morning, we are learning 3 Decatur police officers were actually involved in that shooting. Right now, 1 is on administrative leave, the other 2 pulling desk duties. Investigators have not said what role each of those officers played in that shooting. They, of course, still awaiting the results of a state investigation. But Steve Perkins' family hopes that police body cam video will answer some of those questions. Organizers of a popular Decatur event are taking no chances with people's safety in the wake of those protests. Third Friday organizers canceled last night's event after learning some people had threatened protesters. They say that cancellation is also a way to show respect to Steve Perkins' family. We could hear testimony next week in the capital murder trial of a man charged with killing an undercover Huntsville police officer. Right now, lawyers on both sides of Lodger Romney Brown's case are working to whittle down that jury pool to the final 12 who will decide his fate. Prosecutors say Brown killed Officer Billy Clardy III back in 2019 during a drug sting. If convicted, Brown could get the death penalty. One family is suing two former Alabama basketball players for what they call the wrongful death of their daughter. Jamia Harris's family filed that wrongful death lawsuit yesterday against Darius Miles and Brandon Miller. Miles is charged with capital murder for killing Harris. Miller is not charged, but investigators say he unknowingly brought Miles' gun to him the night of that shooting. That shooting happened in Tuscaloosa back in January. Two Americans held hostage by the Palestinian group Hamas are free this morning. U.S. military leaders have not released their names, just that it's a woman and her 17-year-old daughter. And you can bet their family here in the U.S. are elated about news of their release.
Lola, I love you. I miss you very much. And I hope for the release of the other hostages.
U.S. leaders have not said what led to their releases or how soon they will be back in the U.S. Hamas, though, still holding 10 Americans hostage. Humanitarian teams are finally getting to bring aid to millions of people in Gaza. Israeli and Egyptian leaders opened a crossing into Gaza last night to let hundreds of trucks packed with supplies through. Alabama Senator Katie Britt will meet with leaders across the Middle East this weekend. She left for Israel with a bipartisan group of senators yesterday. Britt says she will do all she can to make sure Israel has all it needs.
Peace will only come through strength. The stability of the world, the region, security of our own homeland, and the safety of our communities and families depend on it.
Governor Kay Ivey is also making sure Alabama is doing its part to help Israel. She just announced the state's treasurer's office will invest more money in Israeli bonds. Family and friends will say their final farewell today to a Brindley Mountain High School senior killed in a car crash. 17-year-old Gavin Daniels' visitations at 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Supreme Court's basketball gym on Highway 69 in Guntersville. His funeral starts at 2. Investigators say Daniels was traveling on Warrenton Road Wednesday morning when he ran off the road and slammed into a utility pole. Muscle Shoals City school leaders are making sure school nurses have resources they need to save students' lives should they suffer a drug overdose. Those nurse stations are now stocked with Narcan to reverse the effects of a drug overdose. School leaders say while they hope they'll never have to use it, they're not taking any chances.
I mean, safety is our #1 priority, and unfortunately in the world that we live in now, with all the drugs that are marketed to our kids, you know, the synthetic drugs especially are scary, fentanyl, the opioid crisis that we're dealing with as a country really, it has risen the stakes.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says teen drug overdoses have steadily risen across the country in the past 3 years. Madison County leaders want to make sure any old, outdated, or unused medicine you have does not get into the wrong hands. They're hosting a drug take-back event starting at 9 o'clock this morning. Now you can drop off that medicine in the parking lot across the street from the Huntsville Public Safety Complex, also at Madison City Hall and at the CVS Pharmacy in Meridianville. Athens city leaders want to make sure everybody has access to flu shots and health checkups, so they're actually hosting a health and wellness fair at 10 o'clock this morning at the Athens Limestone Public Library. You can also get your blood pressure checked, get your eyes and teeth checked as well. Athens police now have a new tool to help comfort children affected by violent crimes. They have special bags to give those children now filled with blankets, crayons, and coloring books. The Daughters of the American Revolution just donated 100 of those bags. Police hope it'll help ease the stress children feel in those crisis situations. Amber?
It is 6:09 now on your Saturday morning. Here's the look at Albertville. Things are still dark, but a little bit of light coming over that horizon as we speak. Temperatures are cool, though, if you're headed out to grab breakfast early on this Saturday. It's 45 right now in Albertville. Winds are calm, but I told you in the last couple of minutes that we will see those winds pick up as we head through the afternoon hours today. Temperatures are cool for all of North Alabama. We're waking up in those 40s this morning. It's 43 in Decatur, 46 out in Muscle Shoals, 45 in Guntersville this morning. So grab that jacket as you head head out the door. Maybe you're headed for that early morning walk or taking the pup out this morning. 31 triple Doppler, though, quiet and dry, and we will stay dry through the rest of the day today and the rest of the weekend for that matter. Speaking of the rest of the weekend, you have 2 weekends left in October, so maybe you're trying to make it out to that pumpkin patch or that haunted house. It will be a warm one today, and winds will start to pick up this afternoon. A little cooler tomorrow. We'll see a dry cold front move through overnight tonight, and that'll drop those temperatures back into the 70s for highs on your Sunday. But I'm tracking warm temperatures once again for next week and very little rain chances. So I'll tell you all about it coming up.
Amber, thank you. Still ahead, Republican lawmakers scrambling to find a new House Speaker nominee this morning. Plus, child safety advocates encouraging parents to have serious conversations about online safety with their children. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, new breaking developments in the Israel-Hamas war. The first signs of humanitarian aid entering Gaza this morning through Egypt's Rafah border crossing. Plus, new details about those 2 American hostages released by Hamas as the war reaches its 14th day. We have team coverage. And back home in the U.S., House stalemate as Republicans are set to meet this Monday, trying to restart the process of electing a speaker. What you need to know. And a dream weekend for sports fans. We're counting down to the World Series, the final teams in the fight, and GMA is at College Game Day this morning. Plus, Gronk is here in studio with a big announcement. That's all ahead here on GMA.
Welcome back, everybody. Time right now 6:14, and Republican lawmakers right now scrambling to find a new House Speaker nominee. They voted to remove Representative Jim Jordan as their candidate yesterday after yet another failed floor vote. Lawmakers will meet Wednesday now to vote on a new nominee. A House floor vote could happen as soon as Tuesday. This morning, police in Maryland searching for the person they say shot and killed a judge in front of his house. Investigators say Pedro Argote killed that judge, and they say that shooting happened just hours after that judge ruled to grant custody of his child to his partner. And child safety experts are encouraging parents this morning to speak to their children about online safety. They say new research presented to the American Academy of Pediatrics shows nearly half of all children shared personal information to people online. They say that information includes their names and where they live. The American Academy of Pediatrics also releasing a new report on the effects of toddler milk. Researchers say formula marketed toward kids as old as 3 offers no extra nutrition. Instead, it says that you should actually give toddlers fruits and cow's milk. And leaders at Aldi and Walmart right now say they are lowering prices on some holiday staples. Walmart leaders say you can find 2 complete Thanksgiving meals, while Aldi will lower the price on more than 70 items by up to 50%. Both of those deals will be available starting November 1st.
Now, WAAY 31 Storm Tracker meteorologist Amber Kuehling with 31 Triple Doppler.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if they're offering the whole meal or if it's all the pieces to put the meal together. I kind of like to put it together myself.
I do too. Yeah, I enjoy
Everybody's
cooking.
got their own holiday recipes and specialties and little things they do
Of
to
course.
the stuffing and the turkey. We'll make myself hungry thinking about it.
It's never too early for turkey.
Never too early for turkey.
Well, it's Saturday
Yep.
in the South, so guess what that means?
Hot.
Well, yeah,
Warm.
that. And
Football.
Let's go ahead and get into that football forecast on this Saturday. We got some big games taking place in the state of Alabama. Tennessee is coming to Tuscaloosa today to take on the Crimson Tide. That game kicks off at 2:30, and it will be a very good game to watch. Another one we got going on is Auburn's taking on Ole Miss. They're traveling to Auburn this evening, and that game kicks off at 6 o'clock. So 2 great games in the state of Alabama to make sure to tune into later on this afternoon. But right now across the Tennessee Valley, that sun on its way up in Decatur, and for the rest of us, still dark and still chilly as well. Temperatures in the 40s to start you out on this Saturday morning. It's 45 right now in Huntsville, 43 in Decatur, 45 as well in Guntersville, and 43 in Scottsboro right now. Now temperatures will warm very quickly as we head into the afternoon hours today, and it will be breezy. Once again, wind gusts as high as 25 to 30 miles per hour will be possible this afternoon. And we do have a red flag warning that just went into effect for all of North Alabama, which means make sure you are not burning anything today, especially with these wind gusts. Now, temperature-wise for the rest of the afternoon, we will warm up into those upper 70s. Even some low 80s will be possible. So if you're headed out to the pumpkin patch, it's going to be a warm one, but at least it will be sunny for the rest of the day. 31 Triple Doppler is quiet and dry this morning. And again, that's how we're going to stay for the rest of the afternoon. No need for an umbrella if you have any outdoor plans, because we're just not going to see the rain, although we definitely need it. Now, over the next couple of hours, we'll stay sunny, and then some clouds will try to work in here as we head towards the afternoon and evening hours tonight. Heading into the overnight hours tonight will be mostly cloudy. Still no rain in sight, though. And by early tomorrow morning, a dry cold front will move in from the north, and that's going to knock our temperatures down as we head into tomorrow. We will be in the 70s for your afternoon highs on your Sunday, so a little cooler than what we'll deal with today. Clouds will move back in as we head into the evening and overnight hours into your Monday. Now, if you're headed out to the Whistle Stop Barbecue Festival today, temperatures will warm quickly into those low 80s as we head into the later afternoon hours. And I did want to check in on the tropics because we're still in hurricane season. We have Hurricane Tammy out in the Atlantic, Category 1 hurricane, not going to bother us here in the United States, which is some great news. And of course, for the next 10 days, well, it is going to be warm across the Tennessee Valley. By the end of next week, we'll have a low chance of seeing some showers, but every day it seems like these chances are getting lower and lower. So somebody's got to do the rain dance because we definitely need some rain. I'm really hoping these models will start agreeing on some better chances as we head into next week.
Well, I don't see why you can't do it. You're standing here.
I don't think anyone wants
You
to
and Carson
see that.
Meredith and Taylor Canoes over here doing the rain dance. I'd pay money to see it. Throw some Grace Anello in there with you, too. All right, thank you so much. Well, it is the weekend, and we take a look at some fun activities you can get out and enjoy across North Alabama up next. Well, right now, let's look at some events and things happening across North Alabama. You can get out and enjoy this weekend. First up, let's talk about, of course, what's going on with Rocket City Moms.
I'm Haley Loveday with Rocket City Mom, and I'm here to let you know about some of our favorite family-friendly events happening in our area this weekend. Today, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., join Bridge Street Town Center for the 4th annual Chalktoberfest Chalk Art Festival. This free event will be located around Belt Courtyard and throughout Bridge Street at participating retailers and restaurants. There will be live music, a balloon artist, face painting, and so much more. Take your family out for some chalktastic fun. Tonight is International Observe the Moon Night and is a time to come together with fellow moon enthusiasts and curious people worldwide. Everyone on Earth is invited to learn about lunar science and exploration, to take part in celestial observations, and to honor cultural and personal connections to the moon. This free event will be hosted by the U.S. Space and Rocket Center tonight from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
I'm Stephanie Walker, and I'm here to tell you about the second annual Madison Witches Ride, Roll, and Stroll. This is going to take place in downtown Madison at the brand new Home Place Park. Witches can still register at our website right here. And this is a great fun event. It's a community Halloween event. It's free for spectators. Witches of all sorts are going to fly through downtown Madison tossing candy at some of the kids along the way. Right after the ride, we're going to be having a Halloween party, the Black Cat Block Party, right there in Home Place Park. There's going to be face painting, food trucks, pumpkin bowling, all kinds of fun. And that's going to be Sunday, October 22nd from 3 to 6.
Sounds like a great time. Rocket City Mom will be there. For a look at more events in the area, check out rocketcitymom.com. For WAAY 31 News, I'm Haley Loveday.
The holidays are fast approaching, and one group in the Shoals is collecting Christmas presents for children in foster care. The group, Court-Appointed Special Advocates, is holding that fundraiser in Rogersville Downtown Park today until 6 o'clock. Now, the director of that organization says she is right now looking forward to another successful year supporting local children. And still ahead, NASA leaders making their way to the Rocket City right now ahead of a major space conference happening next week.
Coverage you can count on. This is WAAY 31 News Mornings.
Good Saturday morning to you, Tennessee Valley. It's a cool start to the day, but I'm tracking sunshine and some breezy conditions. I'll tell you about them coming up.
Plus, we are learning this morning how many protesters in Decatur have been arrested in the wake of that recent officer-involved shooting, plus the status of the officers involved. And a woman and her daughter now free after being held hostage by a Palestinian group, Hamas. What we now know about their surprising release. Good morning, everybody. We are so glad to have you with us for WAAY 31 News Mornings on this Saturday. It is October 21st. Hard to believe. And of course, I am here with Storm Tracker meteorologist Amber Kulick to talk about this surprising turn after those cold days. It feels like late summer again.
It does, yeah, and it's really going to feel like it today.
Whew.
Let's go ahead and dive into this forecast. Here's what we're looking at right now from Gunnersville. That sun on its way up. Still a little cloudy, but we will start to see more of the sunshine as we head into the next few hours here. But check out this temperature, 45 degrees right now. If you're headed out to grab breakfast early this morning, grab that jacket because you're going to need it. Winds are calm for now, but they will start to pick up as we move into the next few hours here. Now, for the rest of the Tennessee Valley, everyone is waking up in those 40s. For Payne, though, you're the coolest spot, 38 degrees. It's 45 in Gunnersville. It's 43 in Decatur, 46 over in Muscle Shoals right now. But these temperatures, they will warm up quickly as we head through the rest of the day. 31 triple Doppler, quiet and dry this morning. No need for that umbrella for the rest of the day. We're staying dry. We're going to deal with those breezy conditions, and we have a red flag warning in place. So what does that mean? That means make sure you're not burning anything for the rest of the day. If you're taking advantage of the weekend to go hunting, looking good this morning. We'll be on the cooler side. Winds start to pick up, though, as we move through the rest of the day. Southwest, about 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25 to 30. So keep that in mind. And we're going to be a little cooler as we head into our Sunday. I'll have those details for you coming up in just a few minutes.
And of course, one of the best ways by far to keep up with your weather is to download our WAAY 31 Storm Tracker weather app. That app is good for Apple and Android users, and it is free. Protesters in Decatur say they are undeterred in their push for state investigators to release police body cam video of that recent officer-involved shooting. That is despite several protesters getting arrested, even sentenced to jail time. WAAY 31's Jillian Kay picks up our story from there on this Saturday.
We will persist in our calls for the arrest, termination, and prosecution of the involved officers and the tow truck driver for their crimes on September 29th.
The protests have been mostly peaceful, but protesters tell me that police have made 8 arrests. Police confirmed one protester pled guilty to disorderly conduct. That person is now serving a 15-day jail sentence. Despite this, protesters say they are not giving up.
This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And so this may take a year or two, but we will support the Perkins family until they get justice.
We're also seeing the impact of protests one day after demonstrators shut down traffic on the Hudson Memorial Bridge.
Everybody should be upset. Not just black people, not just Hispanic people, everybody should be upset.
Now, as for that protester serving jail sentence, fellow protesters marched to the Morgan County Jail last night demanding their release. And this morning we are learning 3 Decatur police officers were involved in that shooting, that one of them is on administrative leave. The other 2 are pulling desk duty. None of them, repeat that, none of them are charged with any kind of crime right now. That investigation is still ongoing. Investigators have not even said which role each of those officers played in that shooting. But Steve Perkins' family does hope that body cam video will answer some of those questions. Organizers of a popular Decatur event are taking no chances with people's safety in the wake of those protests. And the third Friday, organizers canceled last night's event after learning some people had threatened protesters. They say that cancellation is also a way to show respect to Steve Perkins' family. We could hear testimony next week in the capital murder trial of a man charged with killing an undercover police officer. Right now, lawyers on both sides of Lodger Romney Brown's case are working to whittle the jury pool down to the final 12 who will decide his fate. Prosecutors say Brown killed Officer Billy Clardy III in 2019 during a drug sting. If convicted, Brown could get the death penalty. One family is suing 2 former Alabama basketball players for what they call the wrongful death of their daughter. Jamia Harris's family filed that wrongful death lawsuit yesterday against Darius Miles and Brandon Miller. Miles is charged with capital murder for killing Harris. Miller is not charged, but investigators say he did unknowingly bring Miles' gun to him the night of that shooting. That shooting happened in Tuscaloosa back in January. 2 Americans held hostage by the Palestinian group Hamas are free this morning. ABC's Liz Landers goes over the details of that release. Well, we are apparently having some kind of a technical problem bringing you that story. What we do know is that it is a mother and her 17-year-old daughter who have been released. Investigators have not yet released their names. They have also not released any details about how that release ended up happening, or have they said how soon they might be back in the U.S. This is all information we are working to learn on this Saturday morning, but do look for that information throughout the day here on WAAY 31 News. Alabama Senator Katie Britt will meet with leaders across the Middle East this weekend. She left for Israel with a bipartisan group of senators yesterday. Britt says she will do all she can to make sure Israel has everything it needs.
Peace will only come through strength. The stability of the world, the region, security of our own homeland, and the safety of our communities and families depend on it.
Governor Kay Ivey is also making sure Alabama is doing its part to help Israel. She just announced the state's treasurer's office will invest more money in Israeli bonds. Family and friends will say their final farewell today to a Brindley Mountain High School senior killed in a car crash. 17-year-old Gavin Daniels visitations at 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Supreme Court's basketball gym on Highway 69 in Guntersville. His funeral starts at 2. Investigators say Daniels was traveling on Warrenton Road Wednesday morning when he ran off the road and slammed into a utility pole. Muscle Shoals City school leaders are making sure school nurses have the resources they need to save students' lives should they suffer a drug overdose. Those nurse stations are now stocked with Narcan to reverse the effects of drug overdoses. School leaders say while they hope they never have to use it, they are not willing to take any chances.
I mean, safety is our #1 priority, and unfortunately in the world that we live in now, with all the drugs that are marketed to our kids, you know, the synthetic drugs especially are scary, fentanyl, the opioid crisis that we're dealing with as a country really, it has risen the stakes.
And the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says teen drug overdoses have steadily risen across the country over the past 3 years. Madison County leaders want to make sure any old, outdated, or unused medicine you might have does not fall into the wrong hands. So they're hosting a drug take-back event starting at 9 o'clock this morning. You can drop off that medicine at the parking lot across from the Huntsville Public Safety Complex, also at Madison City Hall, or at the CVS Pharmacy in Meridianville. Athens city leaders want to make sure everybody has access to flu shots and health checkups, so they're hosting a health and wellness fair at 10 o'clock this morning at the Athens Limestone County Public Library. You can also get your blood pressure checked, as well as your eyes and teeth. Athens police now have a new tool to comfort children affected by violent crimes. They will now have bags to give out to those children filled with blankets, crayons, and coloring books. The Daughters of the American Revolution just donated 100 of those bags to the Athens PD. Police hope it'll help ease the stress those children feel when they're in those crisis situations. First responders in Limestone County are holding a community tailgate today. It starts at 9 o'clock this morning at John Barnes Park in Ardmore. Now, there will be 2 separate events, also a softball and cornhole tournament. Costs $5 to take part in those events. Money raised will actually go toward the Breast Cancer Awareness Fund for the Athens Limestone Hospital Foundation. And NASA leaders at Marshall Space Flight Center and the American Astronautical Society are getting ready for the 16th annual Von Braun Space Exploration Symposium. Leaders from NASA and its contractors will gather at the University of Alabama in Huntsville for that conference next week. Starts Wednesday. Now they will spend that time talking about the future of space exploration. That also includes plans for next year's scheduled launch of Artemis 2.
We're going to have all the program managers from all the Artemis programs here in town, as well as a lot of our industry leaders and industry partners from SpaceX and Blue Origin and Boeing. All of our major prime contractors that we're working with for Artemis are going to be here as well.
And NASA Administrator Bill Nelson also plans to take part in that event. And WAAY 31 will bring you developments and announcements to come out of that event as we learn them throughout the week during that conference.
It is 6:39 now on your Saturday morning. Here's a look at Albertville. That sun on its way up, and it is going to be a gorgeous start to your weekend. It's a little cool right now, though, so if you are headed out to grab breakfast, grab the jacket. 45 right now in Albertville. Winds are calm, but they will pick up over the next few hours here and stay breezy through the rest of the afternoon. Temperature-wise, across the Tennessee Valley, Fort Payne, you're the coolest spot. 38 degrees right now. It's 43 in Decatur and Coleman, 46 out in Muscle Shoals. We're not going to stay in the 40s very long. We will warm up quickly as we head towards those afternoon hours today, and you're not going to need the umbrella because 31 triple Doppler quiet and dry right now. We're staying quiet and dry as we head through the rest of the day today, and it will be windy on top of these dry conditions, so make sure you're not burning anything because we do have a red flag warning in effect for the rest of the day today. Maybe you're headed out to the pumpkin patch, though. You have 2 weekends left in October. Today's going to be a warm one, 80 for your afternoon high. A little cooler by Sunday as a dry cold front moves through overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. So still nice and comfortable for your Sunday if you had any plans for the afternoon hours. But I'm tracking even warmer temperatures as we head into next week, and I'll give you those details coming up.
Thank you, Amber. Straight ahead, also a look at some events happening across North Alabama you can get out and enjoy this weekend. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. 6:44. There are several events happening at the Von Braun Center this week. And right now, here is VBC Marketing Director Samantha Nielsen to tell us about them.
It's a busy week at the Von Braun Center in downtown Huntsville. Hi, I'm Samantha Nielsen, Marketing Director at the VBC. Fantasy Playhouse continues their presentation of an original adaptation of The Jungle Book in the VBC Playhouse through Sunday, October 29th. The Northwest Church of Christ Ladies Retreat is being held in the VBC South Hall ballrooms this weekend. And Universal Cheerleaders are holding their Varsity Spirit competition in the VBC Probst Arena this Saturday. Rock fans will be excited to hear that GWAR will be in the VBC Mars Music Hall this Sunday. And happening just down the hall, the hilarious Joe Gatto will be making people laugh in the VBC Mark C. Smith Concert Hall. DevSpace, an annual developers conference, will be held in the VBC South Hall ballrooms Monday through Tuesday. And happening in the VBC Probst Arena on Tuesday night, an A-list roster of musicians will come together for a Heroes and Friends tribute to Randy Travis. The Community Foundation of Greater Huntsville will host their Summit on Philanthropy in the VBC Saturn Ballroom on Tuesday. Coming to the VBC Mark C. Smith Concert Hall on Wednesday is international band High Lung. Their unique sound is described as amplified history, as they feature authentic and archaic instruments paired with throat music from ancient civilizations. Their work has been featured in television's Game of Thrones and Vikings, as well as blockbuster film The Northman, and even in video game giants like Conqueror's Blade. Legendary band Kansas celebrates their 50th anniversary with the Another Fork in the Road tour. They're playing to a sold-out crowd in the VBC Mark C. Smith Concert Hall this Thursday. Also playing at the VBC this Thursday is Season 11 American Idol winner Philip Phillips in the VBC Mars Music Hall. Next weekend stays busy at the VBC when Broadway Theater League brings Come From Away to the VBC Mark C. Smith Concert Hall for 5 performances. This New York Times Critics' Pick takes you into the heart of the remarkable true story of 7,000 stranded passengers in the small town in Newfoundland that welcomed them. The cultures clashed and nerves ran high, but uneasiness turned into trust. Music soared into the night and gratitude grew into enduring friendships. Rock band Brother Kane with special guest Cage Willis will be playing in the VBC Mars Music Hall next Friday. And hockey fans will fill the VBC Probst Arena next Friday when Huntsville Havoc takes on the Pensacola Ice Flyers for this season's opening night, kicking off another exciting hockey season. As you can tell, there's always something going on at the Von Braun Center. To see the full calendar, visit vonbrauncenter.com. For WAAY 31, I'm VBC Marketing Director Samantha Nielsen.
Now, WAAY 31 Storm Tracker meteorologist Amber Kuehling with 31 Triple Doppler.
I love this time of year. I was loving those fall temperatures last week. I'm a little confused now. I want them back. I know a lot of folks say they're enjoying this warmer weather. Give me, I'm ready to feel like the season it should be.
Well, it will be here before you know it, but it's just not going to be over the next 10 days.
And I'm guessing no rain in the next 10 days either.
Very small chance.
See.
Let's go ahead and dive into this forecast and tell you what to expect on your weekend. The sun's on its way up from what our views on our WAAY 31 Skycam network this morning, and it is clear to start you out on this Saturday. But as we head into the afternoon hours, we will start to see a few more clouds, and that wind will start to pick up as well. Right now, though, if you're headed out to grab breakfast or that early morning walk, it is a chilly one. 43 right now in Scottsboro. It's 38 degrees in Fort Payne. We're looking at 45 in Huntsville, 44 in Athens this morning. So you're going to need that jacket at least for a few more hours if you are going to be outdoors. But the big story for today is we do have this red flag warning in effect. It goes into effect at noon, lasts through 7 p.m. So this means we have very dangerous fire conditions in place over the Tennessee Valley today. So no burning. Make sure that you're disposing of those cigarette butts properly, and no bonfires, and try not to grill. If you do grill, make sure you're paying attention to it because it is going to be breezy this afternoon. Wind gusts as high as 25 to 30 miles per hour will be possible into the afternoon hours today. So if you have any outdoor plans, well, keep that in mind. Temperatures this afternoon will be warm as well. 80 for your high in Huntsville, 83 in Decatur, 85 out in Muscle Shoals. So it will feel more like summertime than fall, but fall will be back hopefully very soon. 31 Triple Doppler, quiet and dry this morning. We are staying dry through the rest of your weekend. And as we head into the next few hours, we can expect the sunshine to stick around. Clouds will start to come into play as we head into the later afternoon, into the evening and overnight hours tonight. By early tomorrow morning, though, we will watch for a dry cold front to start to swing through the Tennessee Valley. It's not going to bring any rain with it, but it will cool us off a little bit as we head into your Sunday. We'll start off with some sunshine. By late on Sunday, once again, clouds return to the Tennessee Valley. And of course, it is Saturday in the South, and we got some very big games going on in the state of Alabama. Tennessee taking on the Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa this afternoon at 2:30. That'd be a great game to tune into. And Auburn taking on Ole Miss at 6 p.m. That's in Auburn today as well. So if you're headed down to either one of these games, temperatures will be nice and comfortable. And we have some stuff going on across the Tennessee Valley as well. Maybe you're headed out to the Whistle Stop Barbecue Festival. Temperatures will be very warm this afternoon, but I mean, it's always good weather for barbecue. Over the next 10 days, we're staying warm, and we're even back up to 80 as we move into the end of next week. Like I said, these rain chances, they keep dropping every single day. Monday of next week looks to be our best chance of any measurable rainfall. And even then, models are not agreeing on how much we'll see. So, of course, this is one of those forecasts where you want to make sure you're checking back throughout the next couple of days to get the latest information.
All right, Amber, we appreciate it so much. And still ahead, how the Tennessee Titans are honoring the life of one local student killed in a car crash. Welcome back, everybody. 6:54, and this morning the Tennessee Titans are showing their support for a Russellville family who recently lost a woman and 11-year-old boy in a car crash. The Titans just delivered a custom jersey to Jace Fretwell's dad. He also, they also sent a football signed by running back Derrick Henry. Henry signed that football after learning he was Jace's favorite player, and Jace and his mom, of course, died in that wreck last month. One California homeowner celebrating Halloween in a big way, and it's all to bring joy to her dying son. She started putting up her haunted forest back in 2018 and was surprised, she says, when people from across California started showing up to see it.
I was not going to do it this year because, like I said, he's not doing well. But I could not let the community down because they enjoy it so much, and it's actually a gift to me and my family.
Well, she says right now her son's condition has worsened to the point she's not sure he's aware of the haunted forest, but says she still finds comfort in all those people who come to see it. There's a brand new Rolling Stones album about to come out. The famous rock group released that album last night. It is called Hackney Diamonds, and it's the first original studio album since 2005 for the Stones. That album features performances from stars like Lady Gaga, Paul McCartney, and Elton John.
Interesting.
Yeah. Rolling Stones, long live them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, today it's going to be warm for Saturday.
Well,
I know.
We're kind of getting used to it, I guess.
We are. 80 for your high today. Warming up this afternoon after a very cool start this morning, and it will turn breezy. We have that red flag warning that will go into effect at noon and last through 7 p.m. No burning today whatsoever. So if you wanted to do a bonfire, just don't today. Today is not the day for it. Tomorrow won't be either, but at least it'll be a little cooler for your Sunday, and tracking very low end rain chances by the end of next week. Monday will be our best chance of any measurable rainfall, so hopefully the models hold up and we can keep that in the forecast.
Hopefully so. All right, Amber, thank you so much. And of course, WAAY 31 gives you 24/7 coverage you can count on, from everything to breaking news, local news, severe weather, traffic during the week. You can watch WAAY 31 on all of our streaming platforms, including when you download our weather app, which of course has 3 live Doppler radars. Good Morning America is up next, but we are back for another hour of morning news coming up